If there was one retro gaming story that kept being talked about in September, it was the sorry tale of the Retro VGS console, so let's start this month's episode with that. A system thought up by a company called Retro Media Network, the console aimed to use cartridges for its games, with the handful of titles announced in the project's trailer including retro-styled efforts such as Gunlord and Adventure in the Tower of Flight. The console had a price tag of $350 and the carts and system using the same design as the Atari Jaguar. So if that sounds like a failure just waiting to happen to you, then you won't be surprised to hear that the Indiegogo page to help make the Retro VGS a reality was largely ignored, with under 200 pledges not getting anywhere near the $2 million funding goal. Due to this lack of interest, the Retro Media Network have announced that it will cancel the project, but also claim that it will regroup and try again in the not too distant future. In less baffling news, the Unofficial Game & Watch Collector's Guide was released last month, and as its name would suggest, is a book that documents Nintendo's LCD handhelds in depth. It's available in both English and German, with a copy setting you back €39.95, or €59.95 if you prefer the limited edition. To round off this section, Ocarina of Time's Kakariko Village was remade in the Unreal Engine 4 and looks rather nice, and there were also a couple of significant gaming anniversaries in September too, with the Game Boy celebrating its 25th and the original PlayStation its 20th. I'm going off the European launch dates here, by the way. To start, the Wii U's eShop got a quintet of retro releases this month, with NES titles StarTropics, Zodia's Revenge, StarTropics 2, and Tecmo Bowl, as well as superlative N64 shooter Sin and Punishment, and finally Game Boy Advance puzzle platformer Mario vs Donkey Kong. The 3DS's eShop, in comparison, got absolutely nothing. The PlayStation 4 on the other hand got 3 more titles in the ridiculously overpriced Arcade Archives range, with City Connection, Terra Cresta and Moon Cresta. They'll cost you £7.99 each through PSN. PlayStation 3 owners meanwhile got a port of PS1 Farm 'em Up Harvest Moon back to nature through the same service, at the much more reasonable price point of £3.99. Moving away from home consoles, Dragon Quest VIII was released on iOS and Android last month, but only in Japan. There's no word if it will be released elsewhere just yet either. What will definitely be coming to the West though is a new and improved version of PC point-and-click horror title Sanitarium, which will come out on October the 29th for iOS and Android. Just 2 pieces of news for this section this month, with the first being that a new controller for the Atari 5200 and Jaguar systems is being made by modder 10p6, but no release date or pricing has been given for it just yet. The second is that a developer has managed to get full motion video onto the Game Boy Color in the form of the Pokemon TV show intro. Loads of homebrew news this month, with the first being that QuestForge by Order of the Kings for the NES got a physical cartridge release, with a copy setting you back $35, and if you want the box version you'll have to stump up an extra $15. Next, Steam and Xbox One platformer Volgar the Viking was ported to the Dreamcast and can be downloaded for nothing, as can Let's Go for the Amstrad CPC. Something else you can get for nothing is the original source code for the unreleased Commodore 64 title Daffy Duck and the Great Paint Caper, which was made available online last month. Moving on to announcements, famed homebrew developers the Mojon Twins set up a crowdfunding campaign to create a physical cartridge run for platformer Jet Paco on the NES, and it reached its target rather quickly. Copies should be shipped out in December this year. A Kickstarter was also launched for a game adaptation of ancient anime Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs, and is being brought to the Dreamcast, PC Engine CD, 3DS and PCs. A $49 pledge will snag you a physical copy of the game, but whether the project will reach its goal with only a few days to go remains to be seen. Finally, Alex Kidd on Miracle Island is in development and is being made for Texas Instruments 99 computers. No, I have no idea why either. No release date has been set for it just yet. All Nintendo fan translations this month, with a quartet of NES titles. Taito Grand Prix, Game Party, Family Tennis, and Super Monkey Adventure. Finally, there was SNES platformer The Amazing Spider-Man Lethal Foes. Hey, thanks for watching, it's always much appreciated. I also wanted to add that I may no longer be creating 2 videos every month now, but hopefully the quality of the videos themselves will make up for that.
Wow, I really can't move my body.